Today on TruckU, we focus on the catalytic converter. First, we go cat back on our new exhaust. Then we find a new way to protect our cat from getting ripped off. Spray this down, make life a little bit easier for us on all of that. Dude, you ready?
Yeah, I think so, man.
Hey, welcome to TruckU. I'm Steele.
Hey, I'm Bruno Massel.
He's fixing to make a bunch of noise, and we're getting right into it today with no wasted time. First things first, on this 2008 Dodge diesel is a new exhaust system from Heartthrob Exhaust. It's actually going to be a trap-back exhaust. So let's take a look at things as they are right now and see what we're going to do, right? You've got the catalytic converter, you've got the particulate filter, and you've got a muffler. There's three things right there given restriction as the exhaust tries to get out the back of this. Well, we can't do anything about these two because they're required by law, but this one we can definitely do something about.
Yeah, we're going to completely delete the whole muffler because think about it. This is a turbo diesel, right? The turbo is going to do a lot of muffling of the sound as it is. Plus, we're going to get a lot of the sound knocked out of it through the cat back and through the particulate filter. So the catalytic converter in particular will kill some of the noise for us. Plus, we actually want to be able to hear this truck a little bit. So the new exhaust on it's going to have a whole new sound to it, give it a little more manly effect. Am I right, man?
I think so, man. And you know what else we're going to get is more usable horsepower. That's what it's all about. Now, with this current configuration, at about 3,100 RPMs, that's about all this exhaust is going to handle. Well, what we want to do is make it to where there's more flow. The new exhaust can handle more air going through it, and we're going to have, like we said, more usable horsepower.
Exactly.
And it's going to sound better, too. So there's a lot of different pluses to this whole system.
You got the extension tube?
Yeah, actually, you know what? This is a good point. This is a universal kit, one part number for all the Dodge trucks, and it's universal because of this. So no matter what configuration you have with cab and bed, the system's going to be able to fit. You might have to use this whole pipe, you might have to cut it up a little bit, or if you're lucky like we are today, this size fits in just right. I don't know how that happened, dude, but I'm happy about it.
You know, the real time here, Matt, you're slowing me down with all the talking you're doing.
Sorry, I get a little carried away.
Now it's the cool part back here with these dual tips. Now, not only do they look good because they're made of 304 stainless, so they'll polish up and have a nice finish to them, but they serve a really big purpose. It's kind of where some of the magic happens, so to speak, with this exhaust. Now, what we're talking about with a diesel is anything from 2007 to newer has got a particular filter on it. Well, it's all part of this whole emissions thing. Well, when it goes through an emissions cycle, it regenerates itself. Well, it creates a great deal of heat. So the exhaust temperatures, believe it or not, coming out the back of the exhaust can be over 1,000 degrees. Well, that's not good. Anytime your motor's running hot, you got high exhaust gas temperatures, you're going to have a decrease in power. What these are doing actually is creating a Venturi effect, sucking in outside air to cool down those exhaust gas temperatures to get this thing breathing a whole lot better, breathing a whole lot cooler. It'll get more power as well, plus it's a little bit safer.
All right, we're talking about 304 stainless on the tips to make everything look nice and pretty, and the rest of the system is 409 stainless, and that is going to deal with the high heat and the high temperatures. You got this?
Hold on one second, man.
Yeah,
Give me a hand
out
with the back side of it.
No problem, dude.
Once we get this one down, it'll go pretty quick.
Yep.
All right, I'm good there.
All right, you good?
Yeah.
Okay, now, earlier while Bruno was talking right up here, I put this little hanger in, and this actually goes right into the stock hanger, so it's nice and easy. You just fish that up in there. This U-bolt will actually slide up in there, and that is what's going to hold the weight of the system right up here. So we get that in there, and it'll look just like that once we get everything tightened down.
Yeah, you know, we've done this all in real time to show you guys exactly how easy it is to do. I mean, no channeling, no chopping, none of that stuff. As long as you can get underneath your truck, you can do it as quickly as we have here today.
You know what the deal is, man? Once we get everything tightened up, we can put this truck back down on the ground and really have our big payoff and see how this Heartthrob exhaust is going to sound. I'm looking forward to it.
Let it eat.
Very nice. Yeah, give it some. Give it some. All right, that's good. That'll work, man. Yeah, shut her down.
It was nice because it actually is louder than you.
There's not a lot of things that are.
Bit.
Hey, it's not too loud though. It's just got a nice tone to it. That sounds awesome, man. I love it. Very cool.
It's a definite improvement, and he's going to get a big improvement in performance. Now, one thing we haven't mentioned is the fact that if you want, you can go onto our website, link over to Heartthrob Exhaust, because they've got a whole new feature on their website.
Right. If you want to buy an exhaust, but you want to wait until you hear what it sounds like, you can do that on the Heartthrob website, and it's actually got audio files from all the different systems that they have. So if you're one of the guys that says, I want to hear it before I buy it, well, now you can do it.
That's pretty cool, man.
Cool. All right, we need to take a break. We got another truck coming in.
Yeah, it never ends, buddy.
Welcome back to TruckU. One of the joys of owning a new vehicle, or even one that's a couple years old, right, is when somebody comes along and either takes stuff out of your vehicle or removes parts from it when you're not paying attention. We all hate that. One of the things that some of these guys are taking are the catalytic converters.
Now what they'll do is they'll come and get the easiest one. Now this one's got 4 on it, it's Tacoma, but what they'll do is get the easiest one and whack it off on either sides, take it to a metal recycling shop, and they're getting anywhere from 40 to 150 bucks a piece for these things because inside the catalytic converter is some precious metals. Now not only is it going to leave you high and dry in the parking lot, but it's going to cost you about 4 to 5 times to replace that. So you can see that that'll add up really quick.
The bad part is it's relatively easy for them to get that part out. All they need is a little bit of time, an unattended vehicle, and a battery-powered reciprocating saw, and it's a little cut, and it's out, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to give you any ideas or anything, but I'm just letting you know it is pretty easy. Fortunately, though, there's a new product on the scene that's going to help you keep your cat where it's at.
Now this is our cat clamp. Inside this box is everything you need to keep your catalytic converter secure underneath your vehicle. A universal kit which will work on over 99% of all targeted cars and trucks.
Now what makes this system universal are these little inserts right here that go in these clamps. Now these will actually fit around any exhaust size from 1 3/4 all the way up to 3 inches. So you're going to have a wide variety of systems that you can put this on.
Now the way this kit works is these collars go on either side of your catalytic converter. Then you've got these linear cables which secure it all together. And the big thing here are these frame loops which will tie it to the frame or chassis of your vehicle. Now, what's cool about it is the way it works is every one of these cables goes through these little holes. Once it ties down to your exhaust pipes, these spread out and lock it in place so you know your converter will stay where it needs to be underneath your truck.
Now the best part about it is it's a nice easy installation. You don't have to cut anything. There's no welding or anything, no drilling. It's just nice and quick and easy.
Yeah, we can be done in about 30 minutes or so. And you know, one thing I want to bring to attention is how expensive a catalytic converter is. Now, the 2 prime vehicles out there to be stolen, well, you got your Tacoma, which is this truck right here, and 4Runner. We did some calls this morning, found out that these things can cost between $1,300 to $1,800 to replace. So you realize now how effective and what a good savings it can have to keep this thing secure underneath your vehicle.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous, those numbers, man. And that's a bad day if you wake up and find that cat missing, no doubt.
So we're back underneath our Tacoma putting our cat clamp in place, and the first thing we've done is gone ahead and made a reference point on either side of the catalytic converter like we've done right here. What that's for is to give us an idea of where to put these collars on either side. Once the collars are in place, you can see we've gone ahead and run our frame loops around our chassis to get an idea of where this thing's going to clamp on so it can't be taken off.
These frame loops are the 7-footers, so you're going to run those through the cat clamp and then around either the frame or a cross member or some part of the vehicle that's not going to go anywhere, then back through the cat clamp again, and then you can tighten it all down. But before you do that, you need to put in these linear cables right here. So this is the last one. Like we said, this job is probably, 20 to 30 minutes that you can do, and it's nice and easy. So all of those lines and cables are in place. We can tighten everything down with the security type bit right there, and then all this is going to be out of the way, and you're not going to have to worry about any rattling either, so don't worry about any excess cable that's hanging around.
Now keep in mind this is a universal kit too, so the configuration can vary. You can do it any way you want as long as it's tightened to the chassis or the frame somewhere that can't be removed so your catalytic converter can't come off. Now in reality, people are going to look underneath this truck and they're going to see this in place, and that's going to be a deterrent enough. Now keep in mind this is made of 300 stainless, so once they try and cut through this thing, they'll realize that it's just much easier to walk away and go somewhere else.
Generally speaking, most of your crooks are kind of on the lazy side, because if they had a good work ethic, they'd have a job, right? But no, they're out there trying to steal your stuff. If those guys see this, they're just going to head on down to the next truck. All right, we tighten this down, the cat clamp is in, and that job is done. We need to go to break, and then when we come back, we're going to keep working on that Dodge. You got this end, dude?
Yeah,
I'll let you handle that. You're doing so good.
I know it, baby.
How does carbon buildup rob your engine of performance and economy? We'll have the answer after the break. How does carbon buildup rob your engine of performance and economy? The process of burning gasoline or diesel fuel allows the carbon atoms to build up on the top of the pistons in the combustion chamber and on the valves. This buildup creates excess heat in the cylinders and also restricts good fuel and air-fuel mixtures. Using a quality gasoline and adding Z-Max to your fuel system will help remove existing carbon and retard the buildup of additional deposits, giving you a smoother, running, more powerful engine. This tip is brought to you by Z-Max. Performance you can feel.
Hey, welcome back to TruckU. So the Dodge is back in the shop that we were working on a little bit earlier. We've got it running good and sounding great, but now we want to add a little flair to the side and make it look a little better as well.
Yeah, we're going to do that by using these street flares from Bushwhacker. What they're going to do is give it a little bit of customization so it doesn't look like every other truck out on the street. Now, it comes in flat black. What we're doing is prepping it to paint it, so we want it to color match to our vehicle. We're going to use this Duplicolor, this truck, van, and SUV paint, and what's nice about it, it's going to be exact color match to this truck.
Now, the bottom of this two-tone paint scheme is a light metallic khaki, and that's what we're going to replicate and give an exact match right here, and really just tie it all together. It's going to look nice when it's all done, but you've got to make sure that this is good and clean before you do it.
Yeah, if you don't prepare it properly, it'll never look right, and it'll peel off, and it'll flake off, so you don't want that. What we've done is scratch it up a little bit, give something for the paint to bite into, use some of the prep spray here to clean the surface. The last one I want to use is a little tack cloth here to get any kind of little bit of debris left in here off of the surface before we start painting it.
All right, you got this handled?
I got it, buddy.
I'll go get the rest of them and get those ready.
Dude, you're going to the movies again, aren't you? Couple things you want to keep in mind. Always use an even side-to-side motion with each pass. Use 3 light coats versus 1 thick coat. And with all Duplicolor lacquers, they can be recoated anytime. So if you have a problem, let's say you've got a drip, you can sand it down and repaint it without any problems. One last thing, always make sure you're painting in a well-ventilated area. Let me get this up out of the way.
You need a hand?
Nah, I'm good, buddy.
You're good like that. Okay, so we've got the tire out of the way, and we actually taped up around here. We're almost done taping it off. We've got to do a little bit more here in just a minute. But what's going on right now is we're waiting for the paint to dry on our street flares. That's going to take a little while before we can put those back on. In the meantime, it's no time like the present to put on some undercoating down here on the vehicle. We cleaned it up a little bit. We got it looking a little bit better. There was a lot of crud down there and everything. So basically, we pressure washed that a little bit, got it nice. That way, this undercoating will attach. And we're going to put that on for a couple different reasons.
Now, first of all, we're going to do the job because it's something that the dealerships can kill you on. That's the notorious undercoating with a new vehicle. Costs a lot of money, but it does have some practical purposes. Thing is, we're going to be able to do it and save some money using the Duplicolor product. Now, the biggest thing is protect the underside of the truck from the environment, especially if you live up north. You got a lot of salt going down on the road when you're in the icy conditions. Road hazards, rocks, all that kind of stuff will get up there and tear the truck apart, so it'll literally rust out from underneath it, and we don't want that happening.
Absolutely not. Now, we did mention that, you know, when you're doing this, it has a tendency to go all over the place.
Yes.
So make sure you tape it off really good. If anything, tape it off too much. That's the name of the game. You can't do it too much, especially with a white truck like this. So we don't want this guy getting, you know, hey, I love the undercoating, but you killed my paint. So we're not going to do that.
And it's also going to give us some sound deadening too. So that's another feature we talked about. Now it comes in 4 different products. This is the asphalt combination, the asphalt formula, which I think is going to be best for where we're trying to put it.
There's a lot of different places where you can put this too. Now, not only on the front end, but around the gas cans, any kind of exposed metal, like you said, for corrosion, and just any kind of protection that you're going to have driving around the elements, maybe especially on a dirt or gravel road.
Yeah, for sure.
Ah, yes, it smells delicious. You definitely want to make sure you're wearing a mask and gloves if you're going to apply some of this undercoating, because if that gets on your hands, it can be a little bit nasty to get off. Okay, but as you can see, everything's coming along pretty good. We're just about done. What I need to do is move on and finish up the rest of the truck. Hopefully by the time we do that and go to break, the street flares will be dry. We can come back here in a little bit. We'll be done with all the undercoating. We can put the street flares on, and this will look like an all-new truck.
One way to put the end to those rattling windows in your truck is by installing a window channel kit. Over time, the rubber on the window channel will wear out, causing weather elements to get inside. The anti-rattle kit seals to the door glass as the window slides up and down, and is very easy to replace. Simply align the clips and press it into the door. The new kit will tighten up your window track and reduce road noise, vibration, and keep the elements out. The kit is available for most domestic trucks, and while you have the door panel off, it's a good time to replace that window regulator too. This tip is brought to you by LMC Truck. With over 30,000 truck parts in stock, you can get the right part at the right price right now.
Welcome back to TruckU. If you've ever driven your vehicle in the hot summer months with an AC leak and it's not kicking like it should be, you know how miserable that can be, and that's when you need this. It's the FJC Quick Seal Stop Leak from the guys over at Wholesale Parts and Tools. It's a nice little system that's easy to use. It's got the quick, easy hose, little R134A connector right there, and no other tools are needed.
Yeah, what it does is it creates a permanent seal in rubber and metal, like your condensers, your evaporators, anywhere you might have a leak where your refrigerant comes out. You know, it's something that's going to not fix a huge hole in it. If you've got, you know, something you can put your fist through, obviously it's not going to make a difference for you. But if it's a slow leak where your refrigerant keeps coming down, instead of having to pay to keep having to pump back in again or take it to a shop, it'll cost you a lot of money. It's a quick, easy fix which can keep you cool going down the road.
Yeah, only take you a couple of minutes. You put it in nice and easy. It's the FJC Quick Seal Stop Leak from Wholesale Parts and Tools. It's going to keep you cool and hopefully save you some money too.
Yeah, it should.
Let's say you've got a hunch that one of your spark plugs isn't firing like it should, but maybe it's hard to get to and you're thinking, oh man, that's going to be a job.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to make it a lot easier. It's the spark plug sensor from OK Spark USA.
Yeah, it's the only diagnostic tool out there right now that will also check you for voltage and spark, and it does so by just simply taking this probe while the engine's running or while you're spinning it over and putting it next to your spark plug. It'll instantly read in real time whether or not you're getting spark, so it can save you a lot of money, a lot of time in chasing stuff down with diagnostics, and it'll do so in a quick, easy manner.
Don't get intimidated by the little blue box either, because all the programming is done. You don't have to do anything. You just put that where it needs to go and turn it on, so it's pretty much foolproof too. And it'll work on any engine with a spark plug, so it's good for your everyday vehicles, all your toys, your race cars, whatever you got.
And it lasts forever. You never have to worry about it rusting or corroding because of the patented aluminum construction and the pure technology.
It's the spark plug sensor from OK Spark USA. Bruno, check this out. This is something really cool. It's called the car pod. Basically what it is, it's like an extension of your vehicle. Let's say you run out of room in the pickup truck or the SUV or the car. If you've got a hitch right there, you can slide this in, and man, you've got a lot more room right now.
And the thing is, that happens all the time. I mean, I've got a couple of kids in tow, and anytime you want to go anywhere, just the strollers and stuff seem to eat up all the space in the SUV. You know, especially let's say you're going hunting or fishing or road trips.
Right.
It's big enough with 22-inch sidewalls on it that you can put 2 bikes in it, and it's rigid enough where you don't have to worry about your stuff inside of it getting damaged. The best part about it, when you're not using it on the back of your vehicle, it folds up flat so you can hang it on your wall in your garage. It's not eating up your floor space as well.
Yeah, that is very good. Another cool thing is the fact that usually you don't have to use any other straps or tie downs on this thing because it's good and secure. Now, there is an optional locking lid for it and a cargo bag. So if you have to haul stuff and protect it from the elements, you have that option to do that.
It's the Car Pod from Car Pod Inc.
All right, we need to go to break, but we'll be back with more TruckU. I like this thing.
For more information, visit speedtv.com or visit our website at truckutv.com.
Hey, welcome back to TruckU. So the undercoating is done all the way around the vehicle, and as you can see, the paint has dried on our Bushwhacker street flares right here, and these things look phenomenal. Actually, they look a lot better than I thought they were going to, as is always the case. Maybe.
Well, you know, because I did the painting. I mean, you got to give me my credit and what credit's due for once. I mean, these things look really nice. It's a dead match for what we've got, the two-tone on the truck, and I think it really gives it a little something extra. You know, what's nice about these fender flares is the fact that, first of all, they're easy to install, they're easy to work with. One other thing, too, is I think of all the little things, like this little rubber edging that goes around the side here. What we're trying to do is keep it from eating into the side of the truck. Let's say he wants to pull them off at some point in time. Without this little edging, it'll actually carve into the paint and will have a line of rust right across there, and that's something we definitely don't want to happen, especially with a new truck.
No, they've actually thought of just about everything. You might look at these and think, oh, you know what, that's just a piece of plastic that you bolt onto the side of the truck. There's actually a lot of engineering that goes into it, with that rubberized deal on the side that keeps the scratching, with the fact that you don't have to drill any holes into the vehicle, so you don't have to worry about corrosion, and all the hardware is included. I mean, there's a lot more to it than just the piece of plastic.
Now, one thing I want to back up and give you guys a little tip when you're putting this edging on is you go about a foot at a time and then pull off the backing of this tape. And this way it'll stick down, it won't get bunched up, it'll all look nice and even. Also, when you come to points where you got an edge here, use a pair of side cutters and cut it off clean, because it's a little too tight to make the edge, to make the turn. So this way you'll have a nice even finish all the way through.
Bruno, take a look at that. I mean, look how good that looks.
It looks really good. I mean, it looks like it belongs there. It looks like an OEM part for the most part.
It really does. Now, admittedly, I tend to prefer solid color vehicles, and I get a little weary when we start doing all these different colors and tones and all that. Sometimes I get a little nervous, but I got to tell you, the payoff is here today, and I think this looks fantastic.
Yeah, you got to keep the faith sometimes, man.
Now, if you've logged on to the TruckU website recently, you might have noticed a new section called Ask the Host. A lot of you guys are asking questions, which is great. We love reading them. We sit around, we read the questions. Occasionally, we grab one or two of them and try to answer them as best we can on the show, and we've got one right now. This one's actually from Steve. He says, hey guys, love the show, long-time watcher, first-time rider. Now, here's my situation. I'm thinking about cutting my exhaust off just shy of the end of the truck. Is that a bad idea? What should I do? Thanks, guys. Rock on. I like Steve.
I can tell you do.
All right.
Now, the only problem is that it's pretty much like a flamethrower, especially if you got it behind a particular filter like this. Now, really, in all honesty, you might not think it's that bad going down the road because the wind and all that going down the highway wouldn't affect you. But most of the time you're doing your driving, it's stop and go drive, and you're sitting in traffic, and all you're going to do is sit there and eat carbon monoxide, which is not going to be good. You're going to get sick, and it's going to cause a whole lot of problems.
Yeah, you think about it. If you've got the sliding rear window open in your pickup truck, for example, and you got leaves and junk in the back of the truck, and you're going down the road, that's all swirling and coming into the cab. So if the leaves and the junk are coming in, the air is too, and if all that air is coming up from right here and sneaking around into the bed of the truck, that's going in the cab, and you could get sick. That's bad.
Yeah, we had a problem with our race car. The first built it, we had the exhaust coming underneath, and we thought we'd have propulsion from the exhaust to help propel the car forward. Every little bit counts in the world of racing. The problem is the first time I did a burnout, we had the tune-up a little too rich. I stopped the car, and all that gas and fumes went into the car, and I was sitting there crying like a little girl. So, needless to say, the exhaust now is routed out the side of the car. We forgot about the whole propulsion idea.
It's a lot funnier now that you've got the problem figured out.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Steve, thanks for writing in. Bad idea. Please don't try it. Everything's cool. Now, we're back up underneath this truck, and we take a look. You know what, man? I think our buddy here is going to need a cat clamp right there, because that's got a little dollar sign on it right there.
Absolutely. We need to cover that thing.
We'll call Jim up at Cat Clamp, hook this guy up, and send him rolling. That's going to wrap it up for us today. We'll catch you next time right here on TruckU. Keep writing in.